And I'll get a screen set up for you.
Oh, it is?
You're live.
Oh, I'm already live.
Yeah, you're live.
Hi. I guess I'm live. Good afternoon. Is anybody on? Can you hear and see?
Sorry we're late.
Are we late?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 minutes.
If you could only see what we were trying to do for the past hour. Stressed it out. My blood pressure's high. Let me get out of your way. We're just trying to get out of Karen's way now that we semi-set up.
Yeah, we are. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Susan. Thanks for being here. Good afternoon.
Here, I'll pass you some stuff to talk about.
Okay. We're going to be doing some Kimberbell Rope Bowls. I made this one last night.
And here's what you...
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get it all out of the way.
This one is I'm going to, here we go, move back a little bit. Move to the side a little bit. There we go. Of course, now you can't get out.
Okay, I'm good. Is this going to be okay if it's just
Yeah.
like right here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that out of your way enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else can I
Hello,
do?
everyone.
Anything else?
No,
I'm going to do a stripper move.
Oh.
Here we go. Back
You're
in the
good,
day.
You're good.
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
just left a huge mess. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this on for you.
This is what we're making today, the oval. Kimberbell did it again. They came out with some new fun bowls. I don't know if anybody's made any of these yet. No, you can use whatever rope you want. It doesn't have to be cotton. As long as your, machine use the right needle. If it's nylon, you might need a little stronger needle. But I've seen people make rope bowls out of rope from the dollar store. So yeah. Little tag. We're going to make a little tag. I think we'll do that first. I think we'll get the tag out of the way.
Here is everyone, and here we go.
Okay, now I
Chat,
can
I'm gonna
see
get you
chat.
tucked in too.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Susan. Betty. Rochelle. Margie. Brenda. LaDonna. Wanda. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be using the Kimberbell rope. What's this for?
I'm going to leave the computer plugged in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Oh.
then you can also plug it into
Plug it in down here.
You can also plug it into the phone too if you need it.
Okay. And could you grab me the
What do you need?
thread stand?
Oh.
Let me plug this in real quick. There we go. We have power. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. So yeah, we're going to make the Easter, the Hoppy Easter small bowl. We're going to do the small one. That's it. That's all I need.
Okay.
Yeah. If you got your kit from A1, you'll have everything you need. Okay. This is from the kit. These are our 3 colors for our bunnies. And I put SF101 on the back. It doesn't call for SF101 on the applique pieces. That's just my preference. And then this cute material for the back, for the bottom. Really cute. It's an envelope type back bottom. This is the base material. It's just got a little white on white dot, which is really cute. You're also going to need some shape form. This is Kimberbell shape form. Just cut to the directions. There's that. This is all the stuff you can get from A1. And our directions. What else am I using? I'm using, of course, the Kimberbell rope. It is 100% cotton. It's 100 feet, which small bowls you could probably make 3 or 4. And what else am I going to be using? I have a, how much length do we need for the rope? Well, this is, you get 100 feet, which is plenty for this small one. This is 10 rows. And I don't know, each row is maybe, let's see, I have a measuring tape. Just kind of get you a rough estimate.
Should walk out with the iPad.
Is that the iPad? Oh, is this it?
Nope.
Oh.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's just look and see if we go around one time roughly. Just a rough estimate here. So it looks like it's about 25 inches to go around once. So 2 feet. 2 feet to go around once. We go around 10 times.
Hey, Jeannie, where did you put?
So that's what, 20 feet? You're making me do math. So yeah, and you get 100 feet in the package, so that's enough for 4 bowls, maybe. Yeah. So let's see, what else am I using? Just regular stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you real quick the accessory. What did I do with that? I set it down here. What do you need? I can grab it.
Can you just grab those 2 cameras for me? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So in the accessory, the embellishment kit, mine I kind of took apart. You get, this is some leather. You get some gray leather and some red leather. But you could use any leather. You get some tassels. You get some little beads, all different colors. And you get some adorable little buttons. Let me get those out and show you the buttons because they're just so cute. Let's see here. Figure out how to open this bag. We'll be doing good. Here we go. Sorry for the rattling noise. Here are the buttons. Oh. I used the it's a 4-leaf clover. Here's a full set. Look at the buttons. Aren't they cute? For the Christmas bowl, Thanksgiving bowl, Halloween, little heart. You could put on the one I made, the Valentine, flower, clover, and a strawberry, it looks like. Aren't they cute? They're cute. So that comes in the embellishment kit. Okay. So for the tag, we're just going to get going. Unless I have any more questions, let's look. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Oh, I'm not used to starting this at this time, so I'm going to say good morning more than I should. Okay. So for the tag, we only need a 4x4 hoop. And with the setup here, I'm going to try and do everything here at the table. We need some wash away, stabilizer, and some topping. So I got a little piece of wash away stabilizer and a little piece of just wash away topping. And that's what we're going to use for the tag. Let's get our hoop ready. Okay. Okay. Let me go. Let me oh. I don't have medium cutaway, but I have medium tearaway. Well, I mean, you could use no-show mesh to do the embroidery on, if you have that. If you have any other kind of cutaway, it would work just fine. Tearaway, yeah. I mean, if you just leave it in, I would think it'd be fine. What is the difference between the two types of stabilizer? You mean cutaway and tearaway? Or cutaway and, yeah, tearaway? Well, tearaway comes off and cutaway you leave in for the most part. I mean, you can cut around the design, but it stays under the stitches. And, you know, and let's see, what else would be the difference? Tearaway is not as strong as cutaway. I know that much. So if you have a lot of stitches, I say if your stitch count was over like 30,000 or something, then I would want cutaway. Did you mention using wash away? We use wash away for just the tag. We're making the tag first. So we're going to use wash away stabilizer for that. See, I'm going to try and move this down a little bit and move this up. Oops. Okay. Can we use the big design? 6x8. The bigger one? They do have a bigger one. They have one that's, this one goes in the 5x7, and I think the other one is 8x12. Let's look in the book. Yeah, 8x12. So we're doing the 5x7. And there's, here's this in the book. So we're doing the 5x7. I use tearaway if I'm embroidering a hat or bag. I'm doing something with heavy stitching. It's going to be washed a lot. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. That's a good rule of thumb. So yeah, we're doing the so there's a 5x7, 8x12. I don't think there's a 6x8. You mean the finished? No, I don't think it's 6x8. So yeah, everything I've cut is to the 5x7. So I'm going to put my USB in. Let's see. Go to embroidery. I am on the Luminaire 2 today. Okay, so I'm going to do, I use wash away one. So the little tag, and I'm going to be using I'm not going to be using the red, I'm going to be using the, it's like a gray. I remember thinking, well, that's kind of a funny color, but it actually turned out really nice. This is this is what I'm going to be using. It's kind of it's a pretty grayish color. I don't know if that's really showing up at all, but it's very pretty. So that's what we're going to be using for the tag. Hey, you never know what that's hooked up to. Okay. All right. So we got the tag. Let's load it. Embroidery. And I'm just going to use, let's see what the first color, to get the tag out of the way, and then it's done. And the tags are in the back of the book here. It looks like it wants like a light blue. So the colors I'm going to be using for this, by the way, are these three colors plus white. I'll be using some white. But this is Isacord, and this is number 0520. It's a pretty light yellow. I didn't download the tags on my CD. You didn't? Well, they should be on there. I like the tags because it kind of covers up the ending, you know, because underneath here I have it like, well, you'll see when we're done, but it's all like zigzagged and heavy stitching and just kind of hides all that. So this one says love, and I don't know if you can see that, but you see how it's like got some black outline on there? I think that's because I didn't use topper, so using topper is probably a good idea. And then it's got some little hearts on the back. Isn't that cute? And I just glued mine down. I didn't sew it. I didn't even poke the holes. I used E6000. And so for my light blue, I'm using Isacord 4230. Pretty light blue. And then a lavender kind of color, 2764. So these are the three main colors I'll be using. So because they want blue on my tag, I'm going to use the same blue I'm using in my design. Try to stick to the same colors. Oh, I didn't even check for a bobbin. Let me look. Oh, it's almost done. Let's put in a new bobbin. Yeah, that's not going to last very long. Fresh bobbin. Hopefully the needle's good. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get the blue on there. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to try really hard not to bump you guys. But I might. It's kind of a new setup back here, so I'm not 100%. Let's see, I think it's strange. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, we got a new bobbin. We're all threaded up. We're good to go. It's going to do an outline. The tag just takes a few minutes. And the needle broke. Wow. Okay. Scissors. How
like
are you?
two days in a row up here, man. Holy smokes.
Okay. I guess I should have changed the needle. All right. There's the little piece.
And then, Jeannie, I gotta go get the truck for that delivery.
All right. Got some needles here. I should have just changed it out. Oh. Okay. Tighten it up. Let's rethread. Yeah, I'm not liking this. That just seems backwards to me. I wonder why. All right, I'm going to use this one. Put this here. Okay. I think that was a thread stand issue, so we won't use that. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think we're going to cover this. I'm on step 2. All right. Let's hold our breath. I'm wondering if my chat's not working here. Seems to be. All right. It wants yellow for the next step. This is a colorful tag. So we're just going to use our yellow that we get this string off of here. Okay. Okay. Put our yellow in. Oops. Sorry. All right. It's going to do the little eyelets. Oops. There we go. Going to do little eyelets. Oh, you know what? I didn't put the topper on, huh? Let's put the topper on. Just squeeze it in here. I did that last time. I always forget the topper. Okay. Not a biggie. What's next? Let's see. Could be a little bunny. And they want purple for that. We'll use our little okay. Look. Thread changes for a little tiny tag. There you go. All right, we're going to do the bunny now. I'll get you in there. Blue heart. Looks like that. I'm going to do blue, yellow. That one's a little light orange. Let's see if I have them back here. Yeah, kind of light orange. Just grabbed one from back here. This is Exquisite 763. I'm going to use that color. This is 3 little hearts, and they want 3 different colors. I think that copper really makes a difference. Do blue again. Let's use our regular blue. Go. That color is not. All right. A little heart, and then the little orange heart. What is your speed? Oh, knowing Knowing Jeannie, it's probably on the highest. Let's look. Yeah, we're at 1050. I like to be around 800. I'll slow it down. Okay. But yeah, she's pedal to the metal. I don't know why I have such a time with this thread spool. That's the one that's laying on the side. Okay. All right, another little heart. And then a yellow heart. Good afternoon, Miss Cindy. Thanks for being here. How are you? I've already broke a needle. Yellow. We are making the tag for our little bowl, our rope bowl. Just to get that out of the way. Oh, okay. Well, I'm threaded, but let's rethread, huh? Okay, let's try it now. No, we have not made the bowl, Janelle. We are starting with our tag. And now I'm going to leave this yellow in. This is just going to give me a cut line. Okay. And our tag is done. So we'll take it out. I'll move you back a little bit. Take it out of the hoop. And we're just going to cut on that line it just did, this yellow outside line here. We're just going to cut right on there to where you don't even see those stitches anymore. This is a raw edge, of course. If you can see that. Battery at 15%. Let me charge this phone. Let me plug this phone in. Make sure it doesn't go dead here. There we go. Okay, now we're charging. So I'm cutting right on that line. so those stitches are all going to come out. There we go. So there's our little tag. Take our topper off. But I don't bother taking out the wash away in the back. You can go rinse it in water and get that off of there, but I don't see the need really, because it's going to be on your. Now I would go in and cut off a lot of these longer knots in the back here, just because they could show up from behind. So yeah, we can do that. We could do that later. But there's our little tag. We're all done. We're ready for our I need a 5x7 hoop. And I'm not seeing one back here. Let me run and get a 5x7. Hold on. I'm going to have to move this camera a little bit because it's in the walkway. And I apologize for that. This way. There we go. Walking around it. There we go. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Got my hoop. Gotta move this again. Hold on. Tight quarters back here. Oh, and there's all these pop-ups on the computer. There we go. Okay. Got my 5x7 hoop. And I'm going to hoop my medium cutaway. Trying to stay over here so I don't have to move the camera around so much. Sorry. All right. Medium cutaway, 5x7. I'm gonna go get my design. Show you what I'm doing here. Okay, we're going to go to embroidery, the pocket, the USB, and we're going to do the Happy Easter 5x7. Okay. All right. Move you back over here. First, I'm going to leave the yellow in. It's close enough to white. You can use, none of these stitches are going to show. So it's going to give us a guideline to lay down our shape form. And we're starting on our bowl. Our shape form. It says to tape it, but I don't. I just kind of hold it here, and once it gets going, it's not going anywhere. And then we got to cut that. just going to go around twice. I'm going to use these double curve scissors. They're Famore. I like these if I'm cutting this heavier stuff. Okay, I'll try and do this without hitting the camera too much. You don't want to cut your stabilizer. It warns you all throughout that book, the directions for these. Don't cut your stabilizer. So that must happen a lot. But if you do, you know, you can just put some tape or something on there. Just watch your fingers. I put titanium needle through. Oh, that is like my nightmare, is to get my finger sewn. That would be horrible. I can't imagine the pain. It hasn't happened to me yet. But yes, every time you stick your hand in there in the embroidery field, you run the risk. And then I'll tape, right? Then I'll be like, yeah, tape, tape, tape. Okay. What is next? Let's see what our book says.
I'm going to look over the fabric.
Okay, we cut. Do not cut the stabilizer. Stitch, okay. The placement line for the material, the base material. And our base material is the white on white, little polka dots. Okay, I'm just going to cover up that. Just kind of make it even on each side here. I can feel it. Okay, we're still using yellow. It's light enough, I think. It'll be fine. It will be fine. What's next? We put that right side up. We're stitching the tack down. Now we're going into the bunnies. The first bunny is a purple one, so we're going to use our purple. Or lavender. Oh, got it around the base here. There we go. So it's going to give us a placement line for our applique material. Let's do that. Let's see. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Welcome. Yes, I do. You know, I talk to myself in my sewing room too. I say the same things. So I'm saying it for my benefit as much as it's for yours. Okay, got our little purple. Look at the teeny tiny little. So you could make 10 of these with this piece of material here. So we're going to do the tack down. You're so cute. Let's see, for little things like this, I like to use these scissors because I get into those small little areas. Now, I'm just assuming we, yeah, we cut it out. And it's teeny tiny, but it's going to have, it's not a satin stitch, but it's a pretty big stitch that'll go around there. So you don't have to be super careful. Just get as close as you can. And these scissors are really good for this because they go right to the tip. Okay, now you can go in there and clean up some if you want. Probably drive yourself insane trying to get into every little nook and cranny. You don't really need to. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Now it's going to do our little decorative stitch around here, around our little guy. Well, let's see. Now I'm being nitpicky. There we go. Okay. Got a bunch of yeah, that drives me nuts too, Cindy. I want to see it all. And they usually cut out like the hard part. The part you really want to see. Sometimes if they just showed me that part, I would have been happy. But it's like, no, I wanted to see that. How did you do that? Okay. All right, what's next? That's why I really appreciate, Jeannie and A1 because they let me go as long as I need to go. They're very gracious that way. And I'm not a rusher. Okay, so now we're just going to go to the yellow bunny. So now we're going to switch to yellow. And do our yellow little bunny. Yeah. Yeah, when you have those big projects and there's like a ton of cutting and you have a kit especially, sometimes the cutting's really important because you only have so much fabric and you have to cut a certain way. And that's important to see on some of those, especially Kimberbell projects. Yeah, yeah, their morning show is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very genuine people. All right. Outline for our yellow bunny. I am using a 7511. These are anti-glue, which means they have like a coating on them. So they go through, like if you're using vinyl or something like that, I think they go through a little smoother. But this is what I use really 100% of the time, unless I'm doing a specific kind of material. If I'm doing like hard leather or I don't know, what would I think I did something with jean material, and so I used a 90, what are they, 90 something needle, a jeans needle, you know. But really, I just use these exclusively for all of my embroidery. And they've been very good. Okay, cut around our little bunny here. Mm-hmm. 9014, yes, that's it. Yeah. Or if I'm sewing on knits of any kind, a jersey needle. I have all the different needles in my sewing room, but I mostly have these because I use them really exclusively for embroidery. Okay. Now we're going to do our little decorative stitch around, oh, and a little heart. Decorative stitch and a little tiny heart. And then I think we're doing the blue bunny. Let's see. Yep. So our blue will be next. Get all our blue stuff together. It's going to do the little tiny heart. Oh, and I always forget to tell you what bobbin. I'm just using the pre-wound Filtech bobbin.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to give you some love and attention.
I appreciate that.
Is this okay?
Yeah, it's working out great. Don't laugh. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Jeannie and Patrick are awesome. Okay, we're putting in our light blue, or it's kind of an aqua kind of color. Can't forget the dogs. Yeah. Yes, they are just as part of the store as Jeannie and Patrick. They're sweet dogs. If Momo is here and I'm back here sewing, he comes in with his little toy who wants to play. He's so cute. Okay, we did our placement. Now we're doing our tack down. So these bases are done a little differently. I don't know if anybody here has done the first run, the round rope bowls that Kimberbell first came out with. And they had you lay down 2 pieces of that, of the shape form here. And then, you know, you had to try and cut that, and it was difficult. It was doable, but it was difficult. And now they've kind of changed that up with these oval ones. And you'll see we're going to do another layer of this shape form in the hoop. It's just a real quick hooping. And we're going to reinforce the bottom with that. It's pretty smart the way they do it. It's a little easier on your hands too, because you're not trying to cut through 2 layers of that shape form. That's a good idea. Yes. Yeah, if you have a scan and cut, they will cut these little bunnies out for you. And then you just set them down on here, and you don't have to do all this fussy cutting. Okay, we're going to do the decorative outline. Much easier, yeah. Much, much easier, I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, she's really getting into it, huh? I would imagine once you learn. I don't have one yet. Yet. I say yet. Maybe someday. What's next? Hoppy. Hoppy Easter. We're going to do Hoppy and a heart. And I want a light orange. I wasn't crazy about this color. Maybe I can find a different one here. Well, We're going to go with it. Yeah, Willie. Yeah, I bet he would. Okay, we're going to put in this orangey yellow. And we're going to do Hoppy and a little heart. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm a paper crafter too. I have a Cricut. I went the Cricut route. Which I like. I like the Cricut. And the Cricut will cut material also. I've just never used it for that. I do have the rotary blade though. The Cricut too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I tell myself all the time I need to pick a hobby. My room is just so crammed full of stuff. I need to make it just a sewing room, I think. You don't have to pay for a subscription. You can still use the design or the, what do they call it? You can still use their little software online to, bring in your own SVGs and stuff. But you can pay for a subscription. I think it's $10 a month to have access to all of their SVGs and little projects and stuff like that you can make. But no, you don't have to have the subscription in order to use it. That's Jeannie's ringtone. I'm using her phone. I'm told to just say no. Decline the call. After our Hoppy, let's see, it'll be Easter, and that's going to be our lavender color. If you're not familiar with Kimberbell, they give you suggestions here for colors, what they've used. They don't give you like brands or actual names of the colors. They give you these little symbols, and then in the front of the book, they have like a legend for what all those symbols mean. So like we're using the lavender, aqua, and these are the little symbols that are next to our steps for making it. The peach and the yellow. So you just look at those little symbols that are next to the steps and you can see the colors they used. Okay. I'm going to switch to our lavender. Okay. What happened? Thin thread. Try again. There it goes. Okay, we're going to do Easter. Good for you, Lisa. Your sojo back. That's a really pretty E. I'll get it later. I'll push my luck. Okay, so after this, it's going to do the little bellies and ears of the bunnies. And I'm going to use, it calls for white, but I'm going to use kind of this creamy color. I think that would be cute. And a little heart. It's going to do the T. Plus, another benefit of only using one layer of the shape form is, you know, your needle's not going through two as it's doing all this stitching. So I know a lot of needles broke on the other bowls. You had to slow your machine way down and do all of that. More cream color. Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we go. Those are cute. They have little texture. It's really cute. What is after this? Do the little eyes, which is like a black or a gray. I think I'm going to use a gray. I'll use this gray here. You could give them blue eyes. That would be cute. Put in our charcoal. There we go. I need it to be that long. Doing teeny tiny eyes. There we go. These machines never cease to amaze me at the details that they can do. And then little pink noses. Little pink noses. Just do any old pink. This happens to be Exquisite 305. These. Okay, we'll put our pink in. We're almost done here with this base. Let's see what's next. Yeah, after this, we're going to get our backing on. We will need tape for this one. Get our backing pieces ready. Okay. Now, it doesn't really matter what color we use for this. I think I'll just leave the pink in. So we have our backing pieces, and what we've done is we have folded them in half. Long way. They would call this hot dog way. And we're going to lay down the left one first. So it covers. And then we're going to do the right one. The right side. And we're just going to have them cover about, I don't know, between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Okay. That looks pretty good. So we are going to tape for this one because we have this lip here and we don't want our foot to get caught. This is this transport tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for that little bump there because I want it to go over that tape. Same back here. Just to make sure. And then I'm going to tape down the corners. Just so it doesn't go anywhere. Just a little tape on each corner should do it. It's just a quick little round robin kind of stitch. Okay, but we want to watch it, make sure that it doesn't catch anything. So I'm going to be ready with this button up here because I can stop it. I'm sure it's going to go around twice. Now we're good. Okay. And we're done with this part of the base. So I'm going to take all the tape off. Take it out of here. There we go. I'm just going to take all this tape off of here. Gets stuck to my fingers. Comes out of the stitches pretty nicely. I would say much better than the Kimberbell tape, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, got a little bit more here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to use pinking shears. You can, cut around it about 1/4 of an inch and then go around and clip it because you are on a circle here. So I can bring you down here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. It is. It's very nice. It comes out of the stitches really nice. So you want to be about 1/4 of an inch, not more than 1/4 of an inch away. And pinking shears just make it so much easier when you're working with curves. So having a good pair of pinking shears is a must, I think. Okay, we're not going to turn it out or anything just yet. We're going to set this aside. And we're going to do the other part of our bottom. So now we're going to hoop up our tearaway. I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to hoop up our tearaway in our 5x7. Do that right here. This is light tearaway because none of this is going to remain on our base at all. Here we go. Okay. Can't really tug on this because this light tearaway is very rippable. So, okay. It doesn't matter what color we're using, so I'm just going to leave the pink in. And I'm going to come over here and show you what I'm doing. Oh, turn it on, play with it. They're fun. Okay, we're going to get rid of this. Go back to our pocket and our USB, and we're going to find this plain Jane. It's called a base reinforcement for the 5x7. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to set that, embroider it, and it's going to give us a placement line. Oh. It's going to give us a placement line for our shape flex, shape form. cover that line with our shape form. Okay. And then it's going to give us a cut line. The scan feature is what sets the scan and cut apart from the Cricut. The Cricut cannot do that, and it is an amazing feature. So that's it. That's all we do for this. So we take this out. We're done with our hoop. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut right on that stitch line, right on there. Okay, I'll bring you down here a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make those stitches pretty much go away. And the tearaway stabilizer is just going to fall off the back because we're cutting through all the stitches. All right. See that just comes right off. So we don't have any more stabilizer on here. And we shouldn't have any stitches showing or anything like that. Okay, we just cut out the base form. And this is what we're going to do with it. We're going to take what we made earlier and we're going to flip one side. These scissors are really nice. I don't know what kind they are. Let's see. There's something written on here. These are Gingers. But what I like about them is that they're super light. They're plastic except for, the blades. So they're, I have a set of real Gingers and they're really heavy. They're all metal. And this is mostly plastic. So they're very light, but they cut like a Ginger. They're really nice. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to flip one side, just one side for now. Just kind of roll the edge. Get it smooth. You can iron it if you want. It's not really necessary. Okay. Then we're going to take our form here and we're going to put it in here. We're going to slide it in like that on the back. This is the back. And we're going to slide it in. Snug it up in there. Oh, looks like somebody bought a machine. Okay. Or no, maybe it's furniture. Big box moving. Okay, so then now we're going to flip over the other side. Just going to kind of smooth it out. And now we have both of those in there. Well, you can eventually close this up, but we need this open in order to get the rope in there. Okay. So this is our base. Get all these little strings. That's it. Okay, so here's our base. And you can give that a nice press, get it all smooth. All right. Okay. Now we start our bowl. We start our rope bowl. So now we got to change out our foot because we're not embroidering anymore. We're going to sew. Oh, I got to find, here we go. Here we go. It's just right here. So I'm just going to use the J foot. Nothing special here.
Can this trade-in go in the middle room?
Take
Can this
off
go
the
in the middle
one.
room? It's a trade-in, or do you want it?
Put on our regular foot here. If I can see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Tighten her up. Okay, let's go to sewing now. Okay. I don't want pink. I mean, you could use pink, whatever you use on your bowl. And I'm just going to use white. Or this cream color. Let me grab that. This cream color here. But we have to prepare our rope. And I'll show you how I do that. Okay. Now you can wind a bobbin that will match. Because it will show on. Boy, that's just not working, is it? I don't know what the heck's wrong with this spool. Let's see. We've got some thread here that's okay. This should work. I don't know why I have such a hard time with this thing right here. This thing right here. Getting that little post through there is like a nightmare for me. I don't understand why I have such a hard time. There we go. Okay, got it. Okay, let's get our rope out. Let's see. Maybe some crinkly noises going on here. There we go. Gonna find the beginning of our rope here. Bring it down here. Hello, NorCal Quilter. You're not late. We're just starting the bowl right now. All we did was make the base. Find the beginning. And I'm just going to drop this on the floor to the right of me over here. Now I'm going to take this end. There's some tape on here, so I'm going to cut that off. So now I've exposed this inner core here. See how it's kind of a different color than the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that inner core, those little strings in there, and I'm going to pull back this casing and expose about an inch of that. See how that pulled out? So about an inch. And we're going to cut that off. Try not to make a mess here. Okay, so I cut that off. Now I'm going to push this back up. So I have this flat part, you can see, where there's no core in the middle. And that's how I'm going to attach this to the bottom of my rope bowl. And it says to use hot glue. I don't like hot glue. I just don't like it. So what I use is, I brought the package. I use this fabric fruit fuse. This stuff is really strong, and it's very, very sticky. Kind of a little hard to work with, but once you get used to it, it's no big deal. I got the 1/2 inch. I think it comes in different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off just a piece. Yes, they do carry it. They do. And it works for a myriad of things. So I just cut off a little piece like that. And I'm going to stick it to the end here of my rope. If you can see what I'm doing. Just the end like this. I'm not going to wrap it around yet. Okay. So I'm going to take off the cover. If I can, I got to put my glasses on. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, but here we go. I got it. I got it the first try. Okay. So I'm just taking the paper off, and you can see the glue, and I'm going to wrap that glue around. Okay. Just going to wrap it around. And to me, this is easier than hot glue. And this is like really sticky now. Okay. I think I'm going to take off this frayed part. Okay. So now I've got this sticky part here. Yes, I will tell her to add it to the website. Okay, we're going to take our bottom now, take our base. So we have a top, bottom, right, left. Okay. Normally we would mark that with some tape. It tells you in the directions. I'll show you real quick. I'll show you in the directions so we don't get too confused. I don't have any paper tape. Okay, so we are on page, oop, wow, sorry. That just fell. Okay, we are on page 11, and this is where it starts on how to make your bowl. So it wants you to tape, put tape here and that way. And we have the right, left, top, bottom. But we have some writing, so we can kind of tell. If you want to mark it, maybe I should so that we don't get confused, right? Let's just do it. Just stick that right there real quick. And I'm going to find some sort of tape. Well, let's just use our transport. Here we go. And you can measure and do all that. It doesn't really make a difference. It really doesn't. The only thing I would worry about with putting the tape on is not getting it. Don't get it inside the seam here, because that's where we're going to be sewing the rope, and you know, it might be hard to get out of there. So just kind of put it on the end so we can write the right, left, and all of that on there. And then we have a visual for when we're doing our bowl. So I'm just going to put some on the right and on the left, and then the top and the bottom. And that way we're not writing on our fabric. Top and bottom. Okay. And let me grab a pin. Oops. Okay. So this is right. This is bottom. This is left. And this is top. Okay. All right. So now we have it. We have right, left, top, bottom. Okay. We have it all marked. So what they want you to do, this is the right side. They tell you to turn it over so that the right side, the R, is on the left. Okay. So our right side's over here. This is where we're going to put in our rope. We're going to start our rope from that side. So we're just going to lift this up, and we're just going to put it up in there. Just straight up. I'm not trying to get it, you know, because it's nice and flat. It's not going to do anything. So there, I'm good. So then I turn it over, and that's where we're going to start sewing. Okay? Easy peasy. Any questions? But that's why I like that. Plus with, you know, I just don't feel that hot glue is permanent. This stuff is pretty permanent. You can wash and do everything with this tape, which is really nice. That part looks easy. Good. Good. Yes. So now we're on the right side, and the rope's coming out on the right side. On this transport tape, the R is not showing up. I wipe it off. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to snug it up like this. And you can put a clip there. Let's see. Do I have a clip somewhere? I might have one in my basket. I do. So just kind of snug it up here where you want to start, and just throw a clip. That just kind of holds it there for you, okay? To where we get going. And that's how we're going to start. Okay. So now our rope is on the floor, and it's to the right of us. We want everything to the right. Oh, of course I entangled it in the cord. Hold on just a second. Hold on, let me figure this out. I don't want to get... Okay. All right, now I'm free of cords. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I do is I start sewing, and I go around once. Just go around once, and then we're going to do something a little different to start our bowl shape, okay? And I'm using the J-foot, and I like the J-foot because it has, and I'll show you this little mark. Let me show you this mark here. The mark right in the middle of the foot. Let's see if I can get you point at it here. Right there. That is where my eye is going to be the whole time. that is going to be between the two rows of the rope. Okay, that's my eye. My eye's not going to be looking at the needle. It's going to be looking at that. So now let's look at our settings. We can't see you sewing. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get in there as best I can. So now we're going to set up our stitch, and it tells you in the book what to do. It tells you here, set the sewing machine to a wide zigzag stitch, 45 millimeters long and 30 millimeters, or I'm sorry, with a long stitch, wide, so 45 millimeters wide and 3 millimeters long. So let's look at our machine. I'm on the Luminaire, and what I'm going to use is number 110. Can you see 110 there? That's the stitch I'm going to use right there. And I'm going to change the settings because they're, so the width, they wanted 45. So I'm going to change it to 45. And the length, they want 3. Oh, 3. 3 or 3.5? 3. Let's go down one. Okay. Those are the settings that they want. And it works out nice that way. Okay, so that's our zigzag stitch and we're ready to go. Okay. So let's see. Oh, you know, I don't I don't have a foot. Let me look for a gas pedal. I need a gas pedal. Okay. Hopefully this one works. Okay. Make sure your rope is free of everything. Okay. All right. Let's get you in here as close as I can. I'm still using the 7511. I haven't had any problem with it. I don't go super fast. Let's see. I need you more to the side because now I can't see. Let's see. Okay. Tighten this up. Ooh. Did that zoom you in? Oh yeah, look at that. Right out a little bit. Okay. Let's see if that works. I'll adjust the camera if I need to. All right. So again, I'm staring at that middle, and I'm going to lift this up a little bit, and I'm going to put it right on between. That little line is going to go right between where I want my zigzag to go. Okay, and we're going to start with a back stitch. We're going to go forward a couple and back a couple. I'm going to try and get untangled here. Okay, get my foot where I can. Here we go. All right. Now, I'm not used to sewing with shoes, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, slowly. Okay, and then I'm going to back stitch a couple of times. Oh, there we go. Why does it not want to back stitch? Okay, well, it reinforced it, so hopefully that's enough. Okay, so here we go. Now, like I said, the first row, I'm not trying to shape it like a bowl or do anything like that. Just kind of holding the rope close to the edge here and making sure that no line. I didn't lose you, did I? It said it was reconnecting. I'm using embroidery thread. I am. At home I use Aerofill or whatever it's called, and it's cotton. But it doesn't matter. Oh, good. I didn't lose you. Okay, this is on the slowest speed possible. I can go a little faster. Turn the machine up a little bit. There we go. Is that an okay view? Or is that too zoomed in? Let me know. Like I said, I'm just going around. Flat. I'm not trying to make the bowl shape yet. These curves are a little different than the round bowls. If you've made round bowls, this is a sharp turn and it's a little different. You just want to make sure that that middle, that little spot right there is right between where you want your zigzag to go. And for the small bowl, they want 10 rows. And this will be row 1. Okay, we just want to make sure that this rope is snugged up there. You don't need to pull on the rope or anything. Okay, so when we come to this little part here, let me go a little further. Good, yeah, we're good. When we come to this little part here, we want to snug this up. See how there's a little gap there? I don't like that. So I get either a, I get, something to hold it. I've got the little scissors here, but you can use a, what do they call those, a pokey tool, whatever, to just kind of hold that in there as you go around. And that way, okay, I think that's as good as I can do. And then I'm starting my second row. Okay, so now I want to get the bowl shape, right? So I'm going to lift this up. Let me bring it back just a little bit. And I'm going to lift this up like this. Okay, and I'm going to have my hand underneath it, holding it up as I go around. Okay. So we can zoom you out a little bit more so you can kind of see. And I'm holding the rope straight and I'm not pulling on it, but I'm holding it pretty taut. It's not loose at all. I'm going to hold it kind of firm in that as I'm going, and I'm going to lift this up as much as I can. Make sure, and I got to follow that middle. I don't want to lose that middle. What is that, notch? Find the word, Karen, find the word. Okay, so I'm holding this up and I'm touching the side of the machine, so I'm holding it up as much as I can, following that middle line and holding my rope pretty taut. Now when I go around the curve, I have to slow down a little bit because and I'm just bringing it towards me, Going around the curve. You don't want to go too fast, but you'll find your comfortable speed. And as you get more rows on, it gets a little easier to control. I'm going around those curves. Yes, they're not hard and they're fun. They're a lot of fun. You know, you can make little ones, you can make big ones. Just make sure that that rope is kind of snugged up there, but don't pull on it too hard. And just make sure you're right between those two ropes. And you'll get in your groove. And you'll have to stop and you'll have to unwind some rope. Sorry, my camera is, the cord just, maybe if I do this. Okay. You'll have to unravel some rope every now and again because you don't want it like tugging. Okay. Still have it up against the machine here. You can wrap, yes. Yeah, you can put material on here. The first video I did with the Kimberbell bowls, the round ones, I go into detail on how to wrap them. If you need to see that. You can use ribbon. Ribbon is cute. Okay, so we got to pay attention to our rows too. So now we're on row 4. You know, Cindy, they have Kimberbell on their website. You can buy a kit. Well, you have to buy the kit, but you get a couple of designs. You get, I think one that says Home Sweet Home and the other one says something else. But you do have to buy the kit, and I think it's like $59 or whatever. But you get everything to make the bowl, and you just get the one design. So you don't have to buy. I don't know how much the CD is, but I know Kimberbell has that on their website, which I wish you could just buy the design because the design is cute. One says Home Sweet Home. It's really cute. That would make a really nice gift. Okay, we're on row 4. I bought the pink rope online and can't wait to see. Yeah, there's what is it? Mountain Thread Company. Mountain Thread Company has all kinds of rope. Their whole thing is rope bowls. Their whole business is rope, and they've got some really fun rope. Mountain Thread Company. You go check them out. And, you know, if you get off track and you get a gap or something, just go back and redo it. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to, you know, you won't be able to tell. Rope bowls are very forgiving and fun. And you can see this needle's doing just fine. Not having a problem at all. I'm not going super fast, but I'm just kind of chugging along at a nice pace that's comfortable for me. I gotta untwist my rope. Is the Rambo video on YouTube? Yes, it is. It is. So just search Kimberbell Rope Bowl. It'll come up. That was actually my very first class, was that rope bowl. So, be kind. No, Mary, I don't. Oh, thanks, NorCal. I appreciate that. It's a long one, too. It's a long class. I tell you, I made 20 bowls. I made 20 bowls so that I would know what I was doing. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad you guys watched it. It's just awesome. I so appreciate that. Now, if I had my own YouTube channel, I would be making all sorts of things. I just love to sew. Like, I'm getting ready to do a Sally tomato bag, and I've never done anything like that. But you know what my mantra is, what my motto is how hard can it be, right? What row are we on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on row 7. We're almost done. Reading. Ooh, it gets hot there, doesn't it? It's a cute little town, though. Are they fun to make? Oh, I hope so. Got all the hardware and everything, and I'm learning how to do all that. Pleasanton, wasn't that the town that burned down? God, that was so sad. Thank you. That is such a sweet thing to say, Renata. I appreciate that. You know, I just try to think how I would want a video to be, and I want as much detail as possible. Yeah, we should do a Sally tomato class, huh? We'll just fumble through it together. Like I said, how hard can it be? It can't be that hard. There are people out there doing it. If they can do it, we can do it, right? Okay, I'm trying to unknot my rope here. I could have been more careful when I unraveled it. Let's see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on 8. So when we get to 9.5, and when I say 9.5, we started on the right. Right? I'll show you. We started up here on the right. half of that would be the left, right? So that's where we're going to stop on the 9th row, is at the L. We're going to stop at the L. So this is, what did I say? This was row 8. We're going to come around, because when we hit the R, when we hit the right, it's going to be the 9th row. So we're only going to go to the L after this. And then I'll show you how to finish your bowl. One way to finish it. Okay, we just passed the R, so I'm going to stop. I passed the R, and I'm going to stop right here on the side where the L is. See the L? I'm going to stop right there, and we're going to finish our bowl. We're coming up on the L, and we're going to stop right there. We're going to stop with our needle down. Do not take it out of the machine. Okay, so we're at the L. So there's the L, and there's our, zoom out a little bit. Okay, that's all the rows we're going to put on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stop it at the top here. So we're going to take our rope, and I want to make a loop here at the top, right? So I'm just going to kind of audition it without taking it out of the machine, because I still need to sew this part. So I'm just kind of looking and seeing, yeah, that looks good, and I'm going to need some to tuck underneath. So we're going to cut our rope, and we're going to cut it about right here. So you see what I did? So I brought it up to the top. There's my rope. Just kind of auditioning it. Still in the machine. Needle is still down. I can't bring it out, but I can bring this rope up here. We're trying to figure out where we're going to cut the rope. So I bring the rope up here. I know I want to stop at the top. The T is here. I know I'm kind of washed out. Okay. The T is right there. That's where I want to stop. I want my loop to start there. So I'm going to loop, kind of auditioning it about how long I need it. And I want my loop to be about that big. So I'm going to cut it about right here, because all of this part is going to be where I close my loop. Okay, so I'm just going to hold my finger there, and I'm going to cut the rope right there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. My scissors, and I'm going to cut. Okay. Now I'm going to sew to the T. See, I have this extra. I'm going to stop here. The T is about right here, but I have all this extra for my loop. Okay. So now I'm going to sew to the T. Any questions? Okay. Just sewing to the top, to the T. Okay. We're almost there. Now I'm going to back stitch, and I'm going to take it out of the machine. Well, this machine doesn't back stitch for some reason, so I'm just going to reinforce. It's so weird. Okay, so I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to make my loop. Now we're going to do what we did from the beginning. We're going to take out some of this core and make it make it real thin there so that when we sew it underneath here, there it doesn't really, it's not that noticeable. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to get the core out like we did in the beginning. About, an inch or so. Okay, just about that much. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. Away. I'm going to push this back up. And I have this nice flat part again. Remember, like we did in the beginning? We have a little flat part there. And we're going to make a loop. And we're going to put that flat part kind of up underneath. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see what we're doing here. So this flat part here, I want it kind of underneath here. See where I'm putting it? In between the bowl and the rope there. Okay. Just like that. So it just kind of disappears. Let me see if I can't see how it just kind of disappears in there. And that's where I'm going to go. I wish I had a back stitch, because I would really like to go back and forth on that. You guys go back and forth on it. Really secure it. Okay. So now I'm going to put this under the machine. See how it is? Let me get you in there. See how it's kind of tucked up underneath there in between the rope and the rope bowl. That's where I want that part that's flat. Just want it kind of in there. Pushed up against there. And then we're going to sew over that. Okay. And you guys go back and forth. I won't be able to. What I can do is maybe reinforce it and then just put it back under again. Just go back over it this way. Okay. Okay. Cut. And now we have our little loop at the top of our bowl. Cut our little lines here. Now you could have like threaded a bead on there, or put a little bead on the end. I know, right? It's some setting I don't know about. There's got to be some setting in here that is telling it if I push this button, which is the back stitch, to just reinforce. It's like pushing this button where it just goes up and down. And so there must be some setting in here that I'm not aware of. I don't know why you would want that setting. But somebody did. But I bet you if I went through all of here, I could find it. But, I'll just make do. There's more than one way to get something done. So what do you think? See, this would have been, a little bit better if I could have gone back and forth. But yeah, you could have put a little bead on there before you did it. That would be cute. You could hang a tassel from this. I recommend putting the tassel on before you sew too. Whatever you're going to put on here, it's just easier to do before you sew it down. That's kind of a pro tip there, because getting the tassel through here, they're pretty small. Yeah, and that's when I push that button, when I push that U-turn button here, it just stitches in place. Yeah. Yeah. So then we would take our tag, right? Where's our tag? Take our tag. Let's back you up a little bit. And our tag will hide all that mess. See, then our little loop just kind of hangs out under our tag. And like I said, I just put E6000. I think I brought some, yeah. E6000. I just put some on there. And then I have these little these little guys. I have these little guys here. I just got them at like a hardware store. And then I just hold it down like that, and then it dries overnight. I do that like that. Now, if you wanted to punch the holes, I have this thing, this monster, but man, it's nice. It has every size you could hope to need. And it just pokes, tells you the sizes on there. And it just pokes a hole in whatever. And it'll go through anything, believe me. But, you know, you would just put it. And then this way, you're not, you know, you have a lot of control, and you're not cutting through the, there. See? Not cutting through the stitching, which is nice. And then that way you can sew it on, make it look pretty. What do y'all think? Are you guys going to make one? I hope you make one. There's some really cute ones. Where's my book? Oh, it's up here. There's some cute. I really want to do the Merry Christmas one. I think that one is so pretty. But if you see the Merry Christmas, isn't that pretty? So pretty. They have a 4th of July. And they have a, what's that holiday? St. Patrick's Day. Oh, I hope you do, Naomi. And put it on our Facebook group. If you're not part of our Facebook group, it's A1 Vacuum and Sewing Sew Along Facebook group. And I would love to see pictures. And if you use, you know, material, you weave material in between there, you can make these things so pretty. Here's the Thanksgiving one. Happy Thanksgiving. They're cute. And of course, you can't really see it, but it's a bat for Halloween. These are really cute bowls. And the different sizes are crazy. They get pretty big. You know, they'd be a good size for a bread bowl on your dinner table. So I should have ironed this before. You can see I'm kind of, so make sure you iron that before you start anything. You won't get as many ripples. But now we can take all this tape off. And we're done. How easy was that? About 2.5 hours. And we're done. Oh, I hope you do. I hope you do, Mary. I hope you make one. And I'd really love to see it. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate it. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget a thumbs up on your way out the door. That helps her channel. That helps A1's channel. And yeah, go make some bowls. People are going to want them, though. You're going to see how fast they walk out the door. All right, you guys take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.